projects in the community networks move into the next phase of study, you've heard tonight concept designs will be created to understand areas that need further analysis and really set the vision for each corridor. And so your input is needed now to help shape these concept designs. And to gather public feedback, the community networks team created an online survey map, which combines written information, maps, survey links to give context and gather feedback about each project corridor. And so I'm just going to take a quick few minutes to walk you through how to use this online tool. We're also going to cut this segment into a quick tutorial, and we have some written instructions. So we will follow up with that information as well after this meeting. And so the Community Transportation Network's online story map provides some background information when you scroll down in the welcome section on the left-hand side of your screen. You can see a map of each network on the right-hand side of your screen. So we're using this across networks, but you can dig in and you'll be able to zoom in into South Central projects specifically. So you have the option to continue scrolling down to read more about the process, or skip directly to feedback opportunities by corridor by clicking See Designs by clicking here. That's at the top middle of your screen, and that stays anchored to the top middle of your screen. So whenever you feel like you have enough information, you can always click down there. Or if I recommend that you bookmark this site and spend some time with it. You can always just click straight to the designs in the top middle. And so for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll keep scrolling. You'll see an option here at the bottom of the screen to click on a call out with more information on next steps for the process. When you click on it, it will automatically open up a new tab in your browser. And so this takes you to the CTN's homepage, which has a process graphic. And so you can learn a lot more about CTNs generally and access South Central materials. And so I will continue scrolling just in the interest of time. As we scroll, we encounter a section that in a very visual way explains why the city is building bikeways. And so you heard about this tonight. We don't have to spend a lot of time, but for someone new to the project, and for those of you who have engaged, this is a good reminder of these goals. Continuing to scroll, we see information on community engagement to date. You can always return to the background information by scrolling up. So you can continue to use these different sections and scroll up and down based on what information you'd like to view. As we move down, this shows how and why the city is building out complete networks. And similar to the first call out we saw in the story map, you have the option at the bottom of your screen to click on Denver Moves Bicycles, which will open up the Denver Moves Bicycle report in a new browser tab. So lots of information here to really dig in on the background, what these projects are, why we're doing them. And so you can kind of make this a larger screen. You can zoom in and out. There's a lot of interactive features, so please play around. We're really just kind of showing you the tip of the iceberg here, but there's a lot of good stuff. Continuing to scroll, we have helpful information on types of bikeways and changes to streets. So we got some questions about that tonight. And so you can really dig in here and look at the difference and learn about the difference between a bike lane, a buffered bike lane, for example, what a multi-use trail is. And so that should help you as you consider some of the questions in the surveys that we have for these corridors. And then we also have a supplemental fact sheet on neighborhood bikeways with some information on what those mean and what those look like. All right, here's the good stuff where we ask about your input. So you'll see here, it's the final section of the story map, and we're asked for your help in reviewing conceptual designs for corridors across the networks. And so to review a corridor, you zoom in on the map and click on the colored line representing the street. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I'll use Pearl as an example. And so I'm gonna zoom in, and I see that this is Pearl. So you click on the line and this box popped up. It shows you the network, South Central, the boundaries, so from East 3rd to East Tennessee. There are two links here that you can click. One is the corridor information and proposed design, and one is the survey link. I'm going to click quickly on the corridor information and proposed design. And so a Google Drive folder pops up, and I apologize, my computer is running a little bit slow with the Zoom platform. And so here we have 3 documents that are available for all Tier 1 projects. And Trung, do you want to talk a little bit about what each of those mean?
Yeah, I sure can. So the very first document just summarizes the state of the street as it is today. So in that first document, you can take a look at what the considerations for the project are, how the project is going to benefit transportation in Denver and along that corridor. There's some information about the schedule, and then there's some really great data when it comes to crash analysis and looking at 311 calls and submissions. So then in the second one, this dives a little bit deeper into the public input that we received as a part of the online interactive map, as well as the network verification corridor. And some themes arose that we felt like were really driving the need for this project. And so the bottom half of the second page of this document explains how those issues are going to be addressed via the design. And then the third document is a illustrative conceptual map showing the design concept for the corridor. It's a larger file, so give it some time to load, but this gives you a really great sense of what we're thinking so far, and we really want your feedback on this. And so please take a look, kind of explore what we're thinking for the corridor in response to the analysis that we've done, as well as your input. Yeah, there's a lot of content here, so definitely dig in and provide us your feedback. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Trung. Moving back to the story map, and thank you everyone for hanging with us. We are wrapping up after this tutorial, so we have a survey link here. When you click on that, it takes you to a Survey Monkey, which is typically how we have deployed our surveys on this project. And so after you review all of this really great information, you can take that survey. We also link to the corridor information and proposed design within the survey. So if you feel like you want to move back and forth and take a second look at that information, we've made it easy for you to do so. And so it is important for you to know that this tool is just launching. It's brand new. We launched it today, and we expect to have all of our projects up by next week. So if for some reason you don't see the full information that you're expecting, or the survey, you get a pop-up that says the survey is not yet up, we are working on that. And so, like I said, we're expecting to have that up by next week. And so we're aiming to have community input collected by mid-July. And so we'll be following up with you soon on a specific close date. And with that, I am going to bring